Today we're going to be continuing our work with multiplication, and we're going to be learning a new method called the grid method. The point of the grid method is to help us work out longer multiplication questions, usually those with 2 digits multiplied by a single digit, in a quick and efficient way. Today I'm going to show you how that relates to our learning about arrays from last week. So to start us off, have a look at the array on the screen. What number sentence is this array showing? Well done if you said 13 multiplied by 5 or 5 multiplied by 13. That's what the array shows. I'm now going to add some extra labels to my array. I'm going to add a 5 here to show that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in each group. That's also from my multiplication number sentence. But instead of writing 13 across here, because there are 13 different groups, I'm actually going to split it. I'm going to split my array here. It now means, I'm going to draw a line here and just split that up from the 5. Just extend that line a little bit. I'm just going to draw a line down here. So I now have split it so that I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 going across the top in this section. I've got 10 groups in this section. How many groups would I have in the other section? Well done if you said 3. I do have 3 in that last section. And just to make it look nice and neat, I'm going to finish off with a line at the bottom. Okay, I'm also going to add in a line just there. So I've got 5 groups of 10 in this section here, and I've got 5 groups of 3 in this section here. So I've split the array down into 2 parts. We know about splitting arrays because we looked at that last week. Why do you think that I chose to split it into a 10 and a 3? Pause the video and have a think. The reason that we split it into a 10 and a 3 is because we know our 10 times table really well, and we kind of have partitioned 13 into its tens, 10, and its units, 3. So that's where this comes from. There's the 10, and here is the 3. Also, I know my 10 times table really well, so instead of having to draw out and count all of these dots, which can A, take a long time, and B, can lead to mistakes, I already know what 5 times 10 is, and I know that that's 50, so I'm just going to write that here, in the middle of this box. I know that in here they're going to be 50 squares, and I'm just going to double check that. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in each group, and I can count in 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. That's true. I also know that 5 multiplied by 3 would be 15. So I know that they're going to be 15 in here, and I'm using my multiplication tables instead of counting and drawing those crosses. So I'm just going to double check that it is 15. So I've got 5, 10, 15. It is 15. So altogether, I know that I've got 50 and 15. So just underneath, I'm just going to write that out. 50 add 15 equals, and I can do that in my head because I know 50 add 10 is 60, and then I can add 5 more, which makes 65. So I know that 13 times 5, or 5 times 13, is going to equal 65. Now just to check it, I'm going to count up in 5s to make sure I am correct. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65. I am correct. This is where the grid method comes from. So underneath, I'm going to show you how we do the grid method for 5 times 13. See what patterns you notice. So the first step that I'm going to do is to partition 13 into a 10 and also into its units, which is 3. So I've got 1 10 and 3 units. Next, I'm going to start by drawing my grid. So for this, you will need a ruler. I'm going to start with 3 squares along. And then I'm going to go across on the first square. I'm going to leave 4 boxes. Then I'm going to leave 3 boxes. After the first 4 boxes, I'm going to draw a line down. And then I'm going to draw another line here. And finally, cross the bottom like this. Now I'm able to put my numbers in. So I'm going to take the 5 just here, and I'm going to write it in this part of the grid just here. So there is my 5. My multiplication sign is going to be written just here to remind me that I'm doing multiplication. The 10 from our partition 13 is going to go straight down here, just like that. And my 3 from the partition 13 is going to go in this last section of the box, like this. So now I'm ready to start multiplying, and I'm going to rely on my times table facts to do this. The first thing I'm going to do is 5 multiplied by 10, and I'm going to write the answer just here. So I know 5 times 10 is 50, so I'm going to write 50 just there. I'm then going to do 5 times 3 and write the answer below. So 5 times 3 is 15. That's my 2 parts because I partitioned 13 into 10 and 3, so I need to combine those together. I need to add them together. So I'm then going to write 50 and 15 equals 65. And I know that the answer is going to be 65. This time we're going to have a go at doing the grid method, and we're going to do this one together. So as I do it, I'd like you to join in your maths book as well. So our question now is 3 multiplied by 14. It's a 2-digit number that we're multiplying the 3 by. So we're going to start off by partitioning it to its tens and units. So 14 partitioned into tens and units should be a 10 and also a 4, because there's 1 10 and 4 units, or 4 ones. I'm now going to start drawing my grid. So I need 3 squares down. I need to leave 4 squares, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to draw 3 squares down. I need to leave 3 squares, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to draw a line down. And now I'm going to draw a line all the way across, and then 1 at the bottom as well. Really important that you use a ruler and a pencil for this so it looks nice and neat. It is going to be a multiplication, so we need a multiply sign in that very top corner. The next thing we need to do is prepare our grid ready for our multiplication. So the single digit, the 3, that is going to come and sit just below the multiplication sign just here. We're then going to take out a 10, and it's going to go in the first box up here, almost as if we were drawing an array. Our 4 units is going to sit in the next box over here. I'm just going to check that that makes sense. I'm multiplying by 3. That's how many would be in each group of the array. And then I am putting my groups across the top, so they're split into a group of 10 and a group of 4, because 10 and 4 is 14. I'm now ready to actually use my multiplication facts to do the multiplying. So I'm going to do 3 multiplied by 10 equals 30. 3 multiplied by 4 equals 12. Because I partitioned 14 into a 10 and a 4, I now need to recombine the answer. So I've got a 30 and a 12. So that means I'm going to do 30 add 12, which I can do in my head. Because 30 add 10 is 40, add 2 is 42. So I know that my answer is going to be 42. Now it's your turn to have a go. I'd like you to try 2 multiplied by 14 using the grid method. I'm going to help you to draw the grid. So we need 3 squares down. We need to leave 4 squares, 1, 2, 3, 4, and draw another line down that lasts for 3 squares. I need to leave 3 squares and draw a line down for 3. After that first row, we're drawing a line across. We're going to leave our 2 rows and then 1 more line across the bottom. Okay, pause the video now while you have a go, and then press play to reveal the answer. Well done for having a go. I wonder if you managed to get it correct by yourself. Let's go through so that we understand. We are multiplying, so we need the multiply sign in the top corner. Our 2 is what we are multiplying by. That's going to sit down here, just like this. The 14 needs to be partitioned. So that's going to be a 10 and a 4. My 10 is going to sit just here, and my 4 is going to sit just here. Just like if we were doing an array, there would be 2 in each group, and there would be 14 groups. I'm now ready to use my multiplication facts to multiply. So 2 multiplied by 10 equals 20, and 2 multiplied by 4 equals 8. Because I partitioned 14 into 10 and 4, I now need to recombine them to get the total. So I've got 20 and 8, so I know that 20 add 8 equals 28. So one more for you to have a go at now. I'd like you to try 5 times 15. I'll help you draw the grid. So we need 3 squares down. We need to leave 4 squares, 3 squares down, leave 3 squares, 3 squares down. Then we're going to ruler across after that first row of squares. And then again at the bottom, just like this. Okay, pause the video now while you have a go, then press play to reveal the answer. So, we are going to partition 15 into tens and units. That should be 5 and 10. We are then going to put our numbers in the right place in the grid. The 5 is going to sit just here because that's the units that we're multiplying by. We need our multiplication sign. Then we have our 10 and we have our 5 because there are 5 in each group from this part of our multiplication sentence, and there are 15 groups, 10 groups and 5 groups. I'm now ready to use my multiplication facts to work out the answers. So 5 times 10 is 50 and 5 times 5 is 25. I'm now going to combine those together to get the total. So I'm going to have 50 and 25 equals 75. Try the questions on task 1. Choose either the bronze, the silver or the gold. Also, I will attach onto Class Dojo a multiplication number grid for you. So if you are struggling with some of the times tables, you can look up the answers on there so that you get lots of practice at doing the grid method. Once you've done that, try task 2, and then there is an optional challenge. We'll be carrying on with the grid method again tomorrow, so if you've got any questions, just drop me a message. Good luck!